Sound?
Hello. Can you guys hear us now?
Tell us.
I know there's a delay, so.
Bad lip reading, Kat.
What did it say?
Says no audio. Let's see here.
No audio?
Yeah.
Or just.
Just give it a second. Now it works.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So should we plug this back in?
Nope. Just keep it out.
We'll just talk loud. Okay, we'll talk loud. We can do that. Oh, well, sorry you missed it. It was like the best part of the whole interview. We're kicking butt and taking names on that last segment.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much for the feedback, guys.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you so much. Well, our friendly real estate agents let us know that we had no sound. So let's go back to number 2 where we left off. So number 2, take 3, I guess we're on.
Right.
So this one says always show properties before dark and don't hold open houses at night either. And we'll just go briefly into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the hours of darkness here, it stays light until 7 o'clock about this time of year. It's just dangerous. You know, you don't know if there's people lurking about, but you don't know if there's other safety hazards as well. And so you want to make sure that you're only showing homes and doing open houses during the hours of when it's light outside.
Exactly. You know, even in the lock boxes, you can time to be later. Keep them on that earlier time frame at night. If you can set it at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, that would be nice for your clients. No one's trying to see a house at that time. And do we still have sound?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just watching our camera person's expression here to make sure we still have sound. Okay, so did I talk about the neighborhood after number 2 or 3?
After. Yeah, I think we're good
Yes.
on the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, scoping out the neighborhood,
Scope out
making
the
sure.
neighborhood.
Yes,
Okay,
escape
so now
routes.
we're going to be extra careful when using the lockbox before and after. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Be extra careful when using the lockbox before and after.
So lock boxes are usually not just kept on the front door. They're usually hidden someplace on the side of the home. And so as an agent, right, we number one have to search it out sometimes because it's not always listed on the MLS where they put the lock box. And then I find that, you know, usually you have to bend down.
It's like Finding Waldo.
It totally is. And so as you're looking for, number one, always try to know where the lockbox is. If as an agent, please put it on the MLS. If you have a listing, that's helpful for all the other agents out there.
That was another tip.
That was your freebie. But then, you know, once you're there and you're trying to get it, look around, pay attention to what's around you, make sure there's not anybody lurking around, and then that goes for whenever you're taking the key out and when you're putting the key back in.
Exactly.
So just be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, you know what's nice is I have a lot of clients who, in the process of looking for homes, become like family, and they really do stick around. One of them will always stick around as I'm putting a key away, which I think is really nice.
That's great.
So number 5 is have an escape plan for your vehicle, and while you are inside, locate all the exits of the home.
Yeah, so we alluded to the vehicle, your vehicle placement. Most of us, I don't think, park in the driveway just because we don't want to take away the curb appeal. So when you look to park your vehicle, just make sure that you're not boxed in, that there's not other vehicles around you.
And that they can't park. They can't park behind you.
Absolutely.
So always trying to find some strip of streets where no one can park behind you or in front of you. Because you don't, like she said, you don't want to be boxed in.
Right. And then when you go into that house for the first time, make sure you identify where all the exits are. You know, when you're on an airplane and they say, look behind you because the nearest exit may be behind you.
Yes, exactly.
That is also a possibility when you're talking about a home.
Exactly.
You know, people are always going to come through the front door.
Right.
And if you get creeped out, you need to know you might have to go out the back door, out the garage door, and then go outside and look to see what's there, see if there's any obstacles that you have to have to go through.
You know, and just to expand on that a little bit, now if you're in a house that's probably 2,000 feet or less, it's pretty easy to manage where the people are in the house. But if you anticipate having a very busy open house, I would suggest having one person on one side of the house and one on the other.
Great idea.
And that's for many different reasons than just what we talked about, which we'll probably go into later. But I think it's really important to have someone with you if you're in a house that's huge.
Absolutely.
And a house that has many hallways and many, you know, you never know what we're going to be in. Okay, so number 6 is check your cell service. Keep it fully charged and on.
So I have noticed, I have been in homes where the cell service is really bad. So check it when you get there. I know that we live and breathe by our cell phones as realtors, so we always make sure, try to make sure that we have a full charge on our battery. Most of us usually bring a battery pack as well, but to know that you're actually that you have service is very helpful, and then to keep it with you.
Keep it on you, like on
Keep
your
it on
person.
you. Yeah, whether it's in a pocket or whether you're wearing a fanny pack, whether you're tucking it, whatever you have to do with it, make sure that it's accessible and that you can get to it in case of an emergency.
It definitely, our cell phones are our lifeline, and not literally just for our businesses, but for our own safety and our own life. So make sure you always have your cell phone on you, and it's charged.
I just want to add to Camille is that I know that there are apps available for realtors as well, to where that you can have it on, and it like a safety app to where if you need help quickly or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know them off the top of my head.
Right,
but
I don't either, but I've seen that.
Yeah, so that's an option too. You might, if you're interested in that, we could probably find some information.
Exactly. And this next one is actually a really good point for many reasons, but it says to keep the front door closed so you can hear people coming in.
Absolutely. So I know here in the winter time, it's nice to leave the doors open
Exactly.
and get the
That's
nice
exactly where I was
breeze come
going.
through.
Yep.
In the summertime, it's a little bit easier to keep the door closed to keep the air conditioning in. But whenever you have the door closed, usually you can hear the door open. And then that's
Exactly.
your signal as a realtor, because many of us are working while we're there.
Yes.
There's not another client in at the time. And so it's your opportunity then to just hear that and go,
Most
okay,
definitely.
somebody's here, time to get back to work. And if there's not, some doors are really quiet.
Right.
I know one option was to bring like a little bell and put it on that front door, so whenever
Like
it's
a little cat collar.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I used the little Christmas bells.
Okay.
That's how I trained my dog to go to the bathroom. They call that bell training. It's the same type
It's
of
the
thing.
same type of thing.
Yeah, so it's just a little noise.
And then what I've noticed too is when the doors are closed, they usually knock before
Yes.
they come in. So that's
Yes.
also really nice too. It gives you a chance to see maybe who's at the door.
Absolutely.
Do you want to let them in or not?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I know the point is to sell the house, but number one goal is to keep safe.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a great one too. Number 8 is be confident, poised, and in charge. Approach them as they come in and be confident.
So in training to be police officers, there's a talk of officer presence. And so even when I started, I was 23 years old. I was like blonde hair, ponytail. I looked like I was a baby. And it's a big deal is that you have to look like you know what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's how people listen to you.
Kind of like being a real estate agent.
Yeah,
No, just
absolutely.
kidding.
Even if you don't know,
Yes,
you have to
know.
You have to come off like you do.
Exactly.
And in doing that is, you have to stand with authority. So my advice is, as somebody comes in the door, no matter where you are in the home, is that you are on them. And what I say is, you approach them, hand out, hi, my name's Rachelle, how are you? Thank you so much for coming today.
Exactly.
And it's you're not sitting back and being meek and mild.
Right.
You have to.
You're not just sitting at the
them.
table, nose in your computer. You're
Not at all.
an active participant.
Absolutely.
Proactive is the word I guess I should have said.
Definitely. So you're setting the tone right away.
And I love this tip as well. Have them check in and write down their info. I'm not great at that.
Yeah. I think so many people do and don't, and I just like to say on my sign on the front doors, open house, welcome, come on in, be expected to sign in.
Perfect.
And like I tell the people who come in is the homeowner has requested. They want to know who's been in their home.
Exactly.
And the other reason is it's for our safety.
Exactly.
Now yes, sometimes people give us bad information, but I can do a lot with a name. I can do a lot with an email. I can do a lot with a phone number.
Right.
And so
That might be a whole other video.
It might be. Don't lie to me. I can find you. But yeah, just make sure. If you're uncomfortable with it, you can blame it on the homeowners. You can blame it on the broker. Say the broker requires it, but it's just another great idea.
Exactly. I agree. And number 10, don't get boxed in or follow them into rooms. Stay near the door where you can escape, which is, even when I'm showing houses, I do that.
Right. So I think we, as realtors, we want to be involved in the showing of the home and point out all the great things in this house to really sell it. And clients, they want a little bit of alone time. And so you can engage them and you can find a way to be available and answer their questions and point those things out without following them
on top of them.
into bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. It's just, it's so you have your escape route. And
Well, one thing too that I do, especially if there's a lot of houses that we're showing, is I'll walk in, let them in, lock the
Yes.
door behind me,
Yes.
and then I lead it, and I'll flip lights on and fans and whatever I can do. But I'm also checking out: is there anyone sleeping? Is there
Right.
Is there anyone not sleeping that's in a room? You know, that kind of stuff. So I think that is great. So the point there is to stay near a door where you can escape. Okay, and then be aware and confident. Never ever meek, ever.
Ever.
So get your big girl panties on that day and let them know who's boss when they walk into that open house.
And I think as well as kind of the be aware part is, like I did allude to earlier, is that a lot of us do work while we're there and bring our computers and are engaged in real estate to not just waste the time away. And so don't get distracted by that.
Exactly. And you know what I have forgotten to do? I'm a total host failure. Is that we didn't stop to see if there were any questions so far.
No, there is no question so far. Everyone is on board with this. They love all these tips.
Oh, great.
So I'm
awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it wasn't such a big host
No,
fail, was it?
no. Just
Okay.
keep it coming.
I mean, because I will be the one to say there's a host fail.
Uh-oh.
It will be me. Okay. Another great tip too is always work an open house with a partner.
Absolutely. And so I know that we have a lot of agents here who really try to do that.
Yes.
To work it, whether it's another realtor that you're working with or whether it's a lender or somebody
Right.
from title coming in to work in pairs. And like you talked about the larger homes, that's a great
Right.
example. If you're expecting a lot of foot traffic, to have two people in the home is a
Right.
great option.
Right.
I didn't want to say always do it because that would be hypocritical of me, because I don't always do it. I am doing one with another agent this afternoon, but it is a good idea, and it's just like another sense of security knowing that somebody's there. With
I also think with your training, you're in a unique position. I mean, I am the type of person, if I were to carry a weapon, I would probably hurt myself with that weapon.
Right.
So you have 19 years of carrying weapons, knowing how to use them, and training that most of us don't have.
Right.
And I have no desire, just because I'm afraid I'd be the one that would shoot my finger off.
Speaking of weapons.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I think it's a great opportunity.
Yes.
Yes.
It happened to be the next one. So do you want to read the tip?
Sure. Consider carrying a weapon, but you must be ready to use it and train with it.
Yeah. So
Huge. That's the biggest takeaway right there is to train yourself. Like if you have a weapon in your purse and your purse is hiding in a cabinet somewhere, that does you nothing. Does you no good.
Yeah.
You want to know how to use it and keep it on your person.
And so when we're talking about weapons, obviously they range from firearms to just your limbs, right, to some type of self-defense training. I do have firearms. Sometimes I carry them, sometimes I don't. You'll never know. But mostly what I do carry is I carry this little guy right here. I call it my pig sticker, and it's sort of like a knife, except for I would totally cut myself with a knife, and so I know my limitations with that, and so I don't carry an actual knife with me, but I do carry this with me all the time, and I actually have a couple to give away.
Giveaway. Warning.
Alert. Not mine. Mine's going back in my pocket, but I have two. They come in a couple different designs, so this one is similar to the same as mine. Very sharp point, and then there's this other design here.
That's dangerous.
It's
like how she wouldn't let me hold them.
I know, right? You do want to hold this one.
I do want to hold one.
And so I have these. Camille and I were going to give these away. You must be a realtor. And please, you have to do some sort of comment in our feed. It doesn't have to be about these. And we will just give them both away.
Exactly.
I got. Where can I get one?
I will provide that information to you as well.
And Jean Jerusha, I want one.
This, just like any other tool, you have to be prepared to use this. And so weapons, whether they're firearms or any other type of weapon, if you're not prepared to use it and you've not held it and make that a priority, because what happens in many cases with weapons is they get taken from you and they are used against you. So,
so if you were to use this on me,
yes,
just show us how you hold it in your hand.
I would
and then
hold it like this. It's super easy. It's super small. It can come right out of my back pocket that way, and I would go straight for your jugular, right to your neck.
Yeah.
That's where I would use it.
Mhm.
If I couldn't get to there, and if you were a man, I would probably go straight to your
groin.
groin.
I would have said the same
Absolutely.
thing.
Eyeballs are another one. you know, and like I said, it sounds gross, but
hey, it's your life.
when you're talking about life, and you're
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about becoming a victim. So anyhow, I don't want the whole thing to be about weapons.
Right.
Jean
But-
says she wants to know if you can train us.
Jean, if you are interested in training, I am not a defensive tactics trainer, but I do know some people here locally that work for the police department, and I would love to sponsor a training for our agents if there's interest. There's got to be interest. We have to make it worthwhile. So absolutely,
Exactly.
yes.
So let's get a following, people.
Yes, so if there's others of you out there who are interested in that, please just put that in the feed and we'll make that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and I
more of
think-
you that respond, the more we'll know
Exactly.
to set
and
it up.
doesn't just have to be with our brokerage.
Absolutely.
Any female or, not female, I shouldn't say that. Any real estate agent in the Valley who's interested, let us know and we'll get information out to
Yes.
you. We're very passionate about this.
Yes.
Yep.
We just want everyone to stay safe and not be fearful to do our jobs.
Right.
That's really the bottom line. So let's go back to our outline. So we're almost done here. We only have 2 more tips. We're on number 14. And it's better to flight than fight if possible.
Right. So if you can get out, right? But if you're in a situation where you have to fight, then you need to be prepared to fight. And so my husband doesn't like it when I always tell him I'm not going out without a fight.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
So, but that's my philosophy. That's my mindset.
Mhm.
And but I've had 19
Years of training.
and
Yeah.
experience in that. And so I think though, just for the average citizen, it
Right.
is better to try to get out of the situation if you can,
Yeah.
instead of engage in some type of altercation. So,
Well, another thing too with women is a lot of times they have heels on their shoes, and that
Mhm.
might be a great weapon right there.
Sure.
So you don't have to carry it. You can take your shoe on and off pretty
Sure.
quickly.
I will be honest, I usually try to wear flats whenever I
So
go.
you can run.
Not only because you have to put the signs up, and
Yes.
nobody wants to put signs up in this heat with heels
Right.
on.
Right?
Or at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to put signs up at all.
Yeah.
I know, and I usually wear flip flops and I put my signs up too.
Perfect.
But all right, so I think this is probably the most important tip, and I like that it is number 15 on her list, and it's listen to yourself, trust yourself. If something doesn't seem right, it's not, and get out.
Absolutely. So you have to trust your gut. And the little hairs on the back of your neck,
Yeah.
if something is not right, it's not right. And they teach us that in law enforcement, and 10 times out of 10, that's when it hits the
Exactly.
fan. And so you have to trust that always. Don't ever second guess that.
Right.
No matter what the situation is. If you get a bad feeling about somebody, you can certainly ask them to leave. You can say, if you're not comfortable doing that, saying, oh my gosh, I have an emergency, I have to close this open house down.
Right.
Do whatever you have to do. But always listen to that gut instinct.
So we have these great safety tips, but there's some other open house tips that we might be able to discuss as well. So there was a real estate agent that I was mentoring, and she was doing her first or second open house with another agent.
Mhm.
She had called me and said, Camille, there's visible weapons in this homeowner's closet. What do I do with them? So she noticed it before the open house started. So she was
Okay.
walking around, turning lights on and getting the house ready. So what would you suggest? If you are scoping out the house and you see something questionable, whether it's knives in a kitchen, like knives in a nice set, or
Right.
if it's weapons in a master closet, we have to just assume everyone's going to look at every inch of this house.
Absolutely. So I guess the first thing that I would say is if you're not trained in handling weapons, don't handle them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the number one thing, especially firearms. And so if you can close off a room that maybe they're in and just apologize to whoever it is that's coming in and looking
Right.
and saying, I'm sorry. And you don't say that there's weapons in there, but say you
Right.
can make up a number of
Oh my God, there's a gun in there! Don't go in there.
Right, please don't go in there and
Yeah.
then come back and burglarize the house.
Yes,
But
exactly.
but if you have to make something up, and then I think your next step as an agent who's hosting that open house is
Get that
not-
owner.
absolutely is you have to. It has to be secure. You
Right.
cannot, whether it's a showing or an open house,
Exactly.
you can't have those types of weapons just out available.
Right.
Because you don't know who's coming into the home.
Right, and another issue that we have run into in the Valley, and even within this office, there are some agents who, not just during open houses, but showings, has been medication stolen from the house. So what do you suggest to clients?
Same thing,
Mhm.
exact same thing if you have any type of prescription medication. And that's a big deal. We have a lot, well, we had, I guess, whenever I was in law enforcement, a lot of burglaries, home burglaries, and that's specifically what they were stealing is prescription medication. And so all that stuff needs to be put away. And so as a realtor, and if you have, a listing, that's a great conversation to have with your sellers right at the beginning. If you have any of these things, to put that stuff away.
Right. The same with, jewelry, of course. I mean, that's probably an obvious one. So we want to make sure that the house is free of any weapons that anyone can see, just eye level. Make sure that's away. Make jewelry and prescriptions out of the way. You want to always make sure that if someone knows where you are. And, I'm just kind of curious, does anybody out there have a favorite tip or maybe a tip that we didn't say?
Nobody so far, but we might need to go back over the top tips again, just because of the episode
technical
breakdown.
Okay, so we had a little technical difficulty in the beginning, and so I think we only might have covered 2 tips that we missed, right? Or was it more?
No, I think it was the top.
Okay, so the 2 top tips was, number 1 is let someone know where you are and where are you going, and then the times that you're going to be there, and then possible check-in times with that person.
Absolutely, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then the second one was show properties, whether open house during the hours of lateness.
Yeah, I mean, you really wouldn't want to go to a house at night anyways. It's usually very inconvenient for the seller. And, if you have buyers that work 9 to 5, get there ready as soon as you can after 5 or make appointments for the weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, as real estate agents, we know that our weekends are showing homes, and really, we all love what we're doing. I'm sorry. We all love what we're doing, so it doesn't feel like it's work to us. So
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you do with online stalkers?
That's what started this whole thing.
Yes.
So I will be perfectly honest, my former job, I was on Facebook and I was online, but I had a